Hey guys, don't be too disappointed to see me again. And I promise next week you will find and you will see another face. But either way, whether or not you're excited to see me or not, or you don't even have a clue who I am, my name is Paul. And this week we're starting a new series on friendship. And I want you to take a moment and think of your best friend. Think about what makes them your best friend. Is it the fact that you have the same interests, you support one another, you have each other's back when it's difficult, or you trust each other? Like, you guys are real friends. And as we think about real friends, I'm going to show you some food and you're going to try and shout out what you think this food's real friend would be. Now, a disclaimer, this is just my opinion, but I've also prepped the guys who are with you, so if you get it right, do expect some sweets. So here we go. Maybe you agree, maybe not. But if anything else, it has got you hungry like it's got me this morning. But I think some of these things match perfectly. Like, they're real friends. And some of you may say you have loads of friends. Others of you might say you've just got a few people who you'd consider a real friend. And some of you would love to just have one proper friend. That one friend who would have your back. But whatever your friendship situations are like, it's important we think about those people who are closest to us. It's important to know how to find real friends and how to be real friends, as real friends play a pretty big role in our lives. I think back to when me and my friend Matt became best friends. He was the best man at my wedding, and he told a story recently about how we became friends. And how that happened was because we had one friend in common called Andy, and we went with his family to a caravan for a week. And me and Matt, we were sharing a room, and during that week, I annoyed him. I annoyed him a lot, because all I was doing was playing Everybody Wants to Be a Cat in the film The Aristocats. And along with that, we did play football, we hung out, and we got to know each other a lot better. But I do think it's funny how friendships can be formed. It could be formed through a stupid talk about football, it could be built about having some stupid music playing. Or it could be a part of the fact that you're part of the same clubs or the same classes in school, or having those same interests and hobbies. And sometimes friendships can be made super easy. Now, hitting high school, sometimes you wish you could go back to primary school, when life was so much easier, and also it was so much easier to make friends. And as you get a little older, life seems to get a little bit more complicated, and so does making friends. If that's not already complicated, you're afraid that it'll be even more complicated by moving schools or colleges, and what that might mean for those different friendship groups that are forming. Or maybe you've moved to a different place, and now you find yourself in a completely different friendship circle, and it's all change. And it's all changing not because of anything bad, but because you're changing, your life is changing, and it's always changing. And that means finding those real friends, those friends who are always there, who you can trust no matter what, can become a little bit more difficult to find. My point is this: in high school or college, it can feel like we don't have the kind of real friends we really want. Maybe you don't feel like you have any friends at all. And if we're honest, I think we'd all admit that it can be difficult. When you can't find those real friends right now, it can be easy to believe that you'll never have any friends at all. So what do we do when we find ourselves feeling this way? How do we actually find the real friends we are looking for? When it comes to both finding the friends and being the friends we want to have, I think there is no one better example than Jesus. And yeah, I know, Jesus is always the answer. But I want us to check out some solid advice Jesus gave us on friendship. We read it in the book of Luke, which was written by a guy called Luke. And Luke was a doctor and an early follower of Jesus who documented the life and ministry of Jesus. And today we can read some of those words that Jesus spoke to those who were following him. And he said this: Do to others as you would like them to do to you. I think this is pretty good advice. Even though Jesus was specifically talking about what it looked like to love your enemies here, I think we can take the same idea and apply it to our friendships. If anything else, we would want to treat our friends better than our enemies, surely. And what is it actually saying? It's basically saying this: treat others as we want to be treated. And this might sound easy, but I know it's not always that easy. Let's think about it. We should text others like we want to be texted, or we want to invite others like you'd want to be invited. Let's include others like you would want to be included. And we want to see others like we'd want to be seen. And here's the hardest one. Let's talk to others as you'd want to be talked to. When we start thinking about it this way, it suddenly doesn't seem as easy, does it? I think we've all got this wrong in the past, and that's okay. But to be a real friend means we need to value people. If you want to feel important, valued, noticed, and included, it's so important that we do this to others first. And based on what Jesus shared, one of the best ways to increase the value of your friendships is to first value others. And what I'm saying is that you can be the friend you want to have. What's incredible is Jesus didn't just talk the talk, but he did it. He put those words into action in a way his friends couldn't even believe. And this is what he did. So he, Jesus, got up from the meal, took off his clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with a towel, and that he wrapped around them. Now this sounds pretty disgusting and a little bit weird for us today. But back in Jesus' day, this was a normal thing to do. But it was a normal thing for those who were the lowest rank servants. It was disgusting. This weren't just your mum's sweaty feet kind of bad. These were people who were walking around in sandals through dust, mud, water, even animal poo. It's pretty grim. Now maybe you can understand this isn't a job that people wanted to do. And this is what Jesus chose to do. He chose to wash their feet, and it proper freaked them out. How can Jesus, their Saviour, be doing the job of a servant? What a lesson. Jesus didn't care. In fact, he insisted on washing their feet when they said no. And the reason why was because he wanted to model to them what it looked like to serve other people, put other people before himself. And I think Jesus showed us what real friendship looks like. He showed us how we can be a friend and the friend that we want to have. So how do we do this? As people who want real friends, what can we do? Well, like I said, we can begin to follow Jesus' example. Now, before you get freaked out, I'm not saying that you should go and wash your best friend's feet, but we can value them first. We can be the friends we want to have. And there are two things you can try. First is you can think about the kind of friends you want to have. Part of making friends is thinking about the qualities you want to find in a friend, whether it's dependable or patient. The friends that have your back or that they're kind, whatever it might be. But to name the qualities you want to find in a friend. The second is to be that kind of friend. Once you've decided on the qualities of what a real friend looks like, be that kind of friend. Just like Jesus, he was the example of friendship to his friends, and they were encouraged to follow what he taught them. And I know sometimes we want to wait for others to be a friend to us, and even more so if we're shy. But I want to encourage you to be the person who is a friend to others. Invite them, be kind, and encourage them first. Imagine we made Limitless Southport a place where we put this into action. Wouldn't this be a place where you would find real friends? You'd want to bring others from school, and a place where you would want to be. Thanks for listening, guys, and I want you to take some time to discuss this, because you get to define what Limitless Southport looks like for each other and for those who come for the first time, by deciding on the friends you want to be.